delicious.
Let me taste it.
I usually don't show footage of me not liking food because who wants to watch a show about a guy who starved himself for 32 hours, flew to New York, and got a sandwich that he didn't like, and finished it anyway.
Today on Fast Food. After returning from Miami, it's Thanksgiving week, which means it's time to compare Naked City Brewery's vegan and non-vegan burgers, eat a Mondo fried Thanksgiving dinner, and then fly out on a red-eye to New York to meet up with Chris Clay at Al Sham, site of my very first Knafeh experience, which coincidentally started my Knafeh obsession. After juggling for Middle Eastern pastries, I then head to Junior's for arguably one of the best reubens sandwiches of my life. Always risky returning to the scene of a good experience, expecting consistency, so I'm glad this time I have witnesses. It's a first ever fast food episode in modern day Rome, known as the Big Apple, also known as New York City, today on Fast Food.
I'm outside Naked City Brewery right now. I just got back from Miami. This is Thanksgiving week. This is a big food week for me, so I've got to be real careful with how much I eat because this Sunday I am performing on a ship. Friday night I got a red eye to New York. I'm gonna have a whole day Saturday in New York. The very next day's night is my show. So this week we've got Naked City Brewery today. We've got Thanksgiving on Thursday, which is in 2 days. Tomorrow I'm not eating at all. Then I'm not gonna eat on Friday. May I come in?
Yeah.
So we're doing the beet burger, we're doing the portobello mushroom burger, and then an actual burger with meat in it, grass-fed meat. And explain the cheese to me. It sounded really interesting.
It's a white cheddar beer cheese. So we're making it with Kolsch beer, sharp white cheddar, like New York sharp.
Okay.
A lot of garlic, Worcestershire, a little Tabasco in there. All right, rich, very, very tangy.
Let's make it.
Ground meat? Check. Salt? Check. Disinfectant? Check. Lungs? Check.
I noticed you're sharing the grill with a vegan burger and a non-vegan burger. Would anyone complain about that?
Well, we try to zone the broiler, so normally we do the portobellos on the right and the meat on the left. So,
Okay.
Yeah. This one might have.
So this is the vegan zone over here? Well, except for that one up there.
This one might got a little. Yeah.
Both vegan burgers come with a bun, citrus vinaigrette, greens, sliced tomato, red onions, pickles, and more of the same greens on the side because if you're vegan, they assume you want greens over French fries, apparently.
It's beef, so it's got a little sweet top note, and then it's still got the umami. It's got that savory part to it. They're good. A lot of people order these with bacon on them.
The grass-fed burger also comes with a bun, but this time the sauce is an aioli sauce, lettuce, fried onions, and steaming hot beer cheese goo. Because who has time to wait for cheese to melt as you overcook your burger? You want cheese you can pour on your burger just before impaling it with a knife. I'm going to put this inside me. And of course, if you're unhealthy enough to eat a burger, they assume you want to expedite your death with some fries, so fill the rest of the plate with that.
I don't know much about beer. I know that sometimes I like Coronas. So based off of that information, Kate is going to tell me which beer I would like to go with my burgers.
We're gonna try to set you up with something you like. The Yankee Drifter right now is probably our lightest beer. It's a Pilsner, so it's the same style as a Corona. So we'll see if you like this.
Yes, I like that. Almost made it to 20 hours, 1937, but the first thing I'm ingesting is a beer. So, it's the first time I have a studio audience to observe my taste testing here. I really just want to eat this one. I'll try the beet burger first. This beet burger is really good. Here, take a bite. You like it? Okay. You want another bite? There you go. These fries are vegan. Ooh. You guys like fries? It's like one mega fry structure.
Can I try the vegan?
Kind of like
You can try the portobello shells. A vegan, gluten-free beer. What has the world come to? It's a portobello mushroom in there. You saw it being cooked, so why am I telling you? It's certainly a good mushroom, but it does not taste like meat.
It's fine.
It's fine. I'll eat the salad later. This bun is softer. I think he's grilled it with butter. All that cheese. Oh. So glad I got this one.
I think this one is the best.
Yeah, this one's the best. It's very well lubricated, and you know how I feel about my lubricated meats. So that will just slide right down your throat without any chewing required. Cheese is so good, right?
It tastes like mayonnaise.
It's like mayonnaise cheese, yeah. One bite. You gotta make it all in one bite? I'm gonna finish the beef burger. This is my salad. A lot of work went into this. So we're at Naked City Brewery. Brewery is a hard word to say. You have to think brew and worry. If you think of those two words together, brew, worry, then it's easier to say. But if you're thinking of like pronouncing it the way it's spelled, you get all tongue-tied and it's like a tongue twister. Brewery. Say brew.
Brewery.
Worry.
Brewery.
Brewery, yeah. Salad?
I salad before.
Really? Here, start with this. This much out. I'm gonna food challenge this salad. I'm gonna eat the mushroom though. Ooh, more lettuce. I'm just gonna try the mushroom by itself. It's a really good mushroom.
Always make sure your biceps have more veins than your mushrooms. Really, take your time to confirm this. But make sure to eat the right one.
I'm doing a 44 to 48 hour fast right now. And then right after Thanksgiving, I'm gonna have to go into another 44 to 48 hour fast because after that I'm gonna be in New York. But right now I'm heading to the gym. I'm gonna do a leg workout. And then it's juggling night in Seattle at the Ballard Community Center. So I'm going to stop by there. I'm gonna do some ball ringing, club juggling, and burn some more calories. I'm gonna work on my 7 clubs, my 7 vision clubs. And that's it for tonight. All right, it is Thanksgiving. I've gone 39 hours without eating after the Naked City Brewery day. I'm going to the gym right now, mega arm workout. I'm gonna turn all of this food into muscle, and then it's gonna be another 30 to 40 hour fast before I'm in New York. We've got such a crazy menu at home. We're doing turkey, but we're deep frying legs and wings. We're deep frying turkey legs and turkey wings. But we're gonna try deep frying some bread buns and see if we can turn them into donuts. We're doing a macaroni and cheese with baby back ribs on top of it without the bones, just the rib meat, of course. Then we've got beef rib just as ribs because ribs. Then bacon, and oh, I got some caramel corn. It was on sale. It was only 49 cents for a big dish of it. Homemade donut. Try number one. Ooh, it's warm and light and smells like a donut. More. We can make donuts now.
So here we have the final feast. Deep fried turkey legs and wings, 2 different ribs, mac and cheese, a bacon and Brussels sprouts thing, stuffing, gravy, cranberry sauce, and homemade donuts.
Deep fried turkey leg.
Yeah, so this went on for a while. I ate about 3 plates full that looked like this, all the donuts, and then headed off to New York the next day's night. So like 24 hours after this, I got on a red eye to New York.
All right, pulled an all-nighter. I am in New York. I'm in Astoria. It's 10:45 a.m. I'm a little bit early. I'm here at Sham. Homemade baklava. I'm gonna find a Starbucks, and then by the time I get back, they should be open.
I found a Starbucks, but it was a long walk, and when you've been up 24 hours and it's cold, a long walk is like 5 blocks.
Music all over the place. Just being pumped out into the city. They are open, but I got here a little early. They're still making stuff. So they're making a fresh Knafeh, that big dish thing. They're making a fresh one. It's gonna take about an hour and a half. So for now, they give me something to tide me over. I'm waiting for Chris Clay, who should be here within the next half hour. So they invited me to just hang out here and wait for it. So that's what I'm gonna do because it's warm in here and it's cold out there. Let's start with this one. Oh, isn't that cute? Very big on pistachios. I'm trying to pace myself, but these are really good. Listen to this. Shh. It's kind of healthy because there's walnuts. 6 months I've been waiting to come back here. We are about to cut a fresh Knafeh. Fresh Knafeh. They're gonna bring out a fresh Knafeh. This is what I've only seen in videos.
This, fast food fans, is an experience not to be missed. Not only was this Knafeh just made, not only does this dude have the authentic square spatula and cutting technique, I'm also getting the first serving. The first huge serving. The first 2 huge servings. Look at that, just swimming in orange blossom syrup. You know, you got your cheese, you got your semolina crust soaked and fried in butter. It's like someone saw the health benefits of fried cheese sticks and thought, where's the diabetes? Come on, get with it.
This is fresh Knafeh.
And this isn't even what I came for, but it is a good distraction. So let's spend some time being distracted with this.
A lot of pistachio.
Of course, you always have to make time for Instagram followers. But now this This is what I came for. This is a Knafeh with a butter-soaked crispy noodle crust, like fried shredded phyllo dough crust. Apparently I only get one of these. Probably because you saw I didn't finish the other 2 pieces yet. I mean, they're still steaming hot. What do you want me to do? And also, where the hell is Chris Clay?
By myself on the train, no one can tell me what to do. I'm insane. Oh.
This is the crispy shredded phyllo dough Knafeh. I will eat this whole thing, and I might get another one. Can you hear that? You don't have to.
When you put this thing in your mouth, you'll want to leave it there. The next best thing is to just never stop eating it. You will start to get the cheese sweats, so dress appropriately. When posting video to Instagram, it's important to strike a pose after taking a bite. Apparently any pose will do. Just do something, and then do it again. This is actually considered a breakfast food. On your way to work, pick up a few thousand calories, shove it inside a pita pocket, and you can eat it on the go.
That was not disappointing. Give myself 5 minutes, and then they've got what I think is my absolute favorite. It's the same type of phyllo dough crust, but it's baked with cream inside.
Oh, I'm by myself on this train. Oh.
Look who decided to grace us with his presence. We're gonna shoot Chris eating what I just ate and see if he gives a shit about it. Did you eat anything today?
Yes.
Why would you eat something? We're getting together to eat, and you ate something already? What
Just
did
a
you
little bit. Just
What'd you eat?
my third helping of Thanksgiving dinner. Just a little bit.
Here.
What's the name of your YouTube channel?
It's just a, what's that?
What's the name of your YouTube channel?
It's my name, Jason R. Garfield.
Jason R.
If you just remember Jason Garfield, I'm the most popular Jason Garfield on the internet.
He is. He's huge, actually.
I'll come up with
You know him?
Yes, he's huge. So, what do we have here?
This is a GoPro.
No, I'm talking about the food.
You're a
stuff too
juggler.
as well. See? That's the number one juggler in the world.
And once people find out you're a juggler, it's very difficult to convince them that a demonstration will be disappointing. Of course, it would help if you also didn't bring your balls with you, but otherwise I'd end up juggling steaming hot slices of Knafeh, so this was probably the better choice.
I juggle for Knafeh.
It's possible a photo with you.
Yeah.
Selfies with Jason.
Your canal YouTube? Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
My name is Chris, and we're here with Jason Garfield, and we're going to talk about food and juggling. All right. So tell me more in depth exactly what you're doing. I know you're fasting for a long time and then deciding to gorge yourself.
That's pretty much it.
Okay. And is this
All right, eat it.
You never forget your first Knafeh experience.
It's interesting and amazing. It's almost like it's cheesy goodness.
Yeah.
And even after one gorges on Thanksgiving dinner leftovers for breakfast, like in the morning, which is so not necessary, there's something addictive about the Knafeh that compels one to ignore the calories and health effects and keep shoveling it into your mouth like a crackhead. Or in this case, this crackhead. But these next treats are difficult to ignore. Different styles of phyllo and cheese fillings, and of course more crispy noodle Knafeh.
You can just hang out here all day.
Now I heard you were the mean Jason, now you're the nice Jason. Is this a real thing happening?
No, not nice, Jason. I've given up the angry character on stage.
That's what I was talking about, yeah.
Yeah, I want to be very clear. People like will see me get upset about stuff in my real life.
Yeah, right.
I'm just not pretending to be angry anymore.
Okay.
I'm not going to go on stage and pretend like I'm pissed off to be there.
Right.
Which was quite humorous, I thought.
Which, yes, it
because
was.
Why are you here if
Shut
you're
up.
upset about
Yeah.
it? What I'm doing now works fine, if not better.
Do you have video of what you do now?
It's pretty much the same thing, only without the anger.
Oh.
I used to have this thing where I didn't want to smile or laugh at all in the show. I wanted to always be just a pissed off face.
Right.
And since I've let that go, it's a lot easier to do the show, because that was the challenge, is not laughing when funny things happen.
Yeah.
And so now it's just, and I think people seem to like it more when they see me, not break character, but just kind of laugh along with it. Because otherwise people were like worried. Like, oh, is he going to lose it and murder her or something? Because he looks very angry. And I thought,
that's what made it funny though.
yeah, I mean, I thought it takes a certain type of sense of humor to get it also. But I mean, I did a lot of it, so it's not like it didn't happen. And so, but I mean, how much more of that can you really do anyway? I mean, it's getting a little stale. There's no new way to be angry, I don't think. So,
Well, thank you for bringing me here. I have never been here. I've lived here for 13, 14 years, and I don't really go out and explore.
the thing about this stuff is like you're like totally full and like almost sickened from all the sweetness, but then you wait 5 minutes, and it's still here in front of you, and you're like, well, maybe even though this is cold and hard now, it's not even nearly as appetizing as it was to begin with.
Well, that's why I want to get this to go and then reheat it in the oven. What? Reheat it in the oven.
I don't know how to explain that, so we'll just move on. Now the plan is to head to Junior's in Brooklyn. Definitely need to go to the original location in Brooklyn and not the one in Times Square.
You're the one in Manhattan, or do you really want to go to the one?
My theory is that one's not as good as the one in Brooklyn, because that's for tourists that don't know any better.
Well, it's the same.
Yeah, but it's not.
Okay.
Because they're somewhere else, so it can't be exactly the same. Definitely going to get diabetes before heart disease.
That's what I'm afraid of. I've been eating so horribly lately. I have to change my diet. I have to. So I can feel my heart pounding.
Yeah.
Your blood is thick.
What do you think you're going to change your diet to?
Well, thanks to your book.
You read my book?
Yes. Some of it.
Did you
Not
buy
all
it?
of it.
Did I
No,
give
you
it
gave it
to
to me, yeah. Remember I had a post, I go, hey, can anyone give me large prep meal ideas for protein and this? And you're like, you don't need protein. You don't need it. You don't need all that. You're like roasting me. I'm like, okay, what do I need here?
Is that what I
Read my
sound
book.
like in text? That's my text
Yeah,
voice?
sometimes it sounds like, you're like, you don't need protein. You don't need it. The thing I want to start with is the potato. Which you said you can eat as many potatoes as you want.
Plain.
Plain, yeah, that's the part that's going to be a little rough. But not even a sprinkle of butter?
No, a sprinkle of butter.
Like a half a pat.
The whole point is you have to reset your palate.
Right.
So if you're over flavoring stuff, like with butter, sugar, and salt, that's your body's going to crave more of that. Your body is all about getting energy from outside sources. It doesn't want to use its own fat. So you have to force it to. And by eating a plain potato, it's the difference if you have sour cream and butter on it, you eat 5 potatoes.
Right.
If you have nothing on it, you'll eat half a potato. And you'll realize you're full. And there's nothing enjoyable about it, so you're not going to keep eating it. So as long as you make a deal with yourself, I'm only eating potatoes today.
Right.
Eat as many of them as you want. It's not going to be a whole lot.
Yeah.
You can try to prove me wrong, but it will not be enjoyable.
Right. No, I know. I just need to eat more. I need more balanced. Right now, it's because where I live, it's so hard to eat healthy in my environments. Because all you, like in the Bronx especially, all you have is McDonald's, rotisserie chicken places, Chinese food. It's all salt, meat, and
But you have
gross.
a supermarket, right?
We do. They don't have the best produce, but we do have a supermarket. But then there's the whole prep time and cutting up vegetables. Like, I'm so lazy. It's the last thing I'm going to do is go home and wash my hands.
You know, you can buy a bag of pre-washed and chopped kale. It's already done for you. Get some balsamic vinegar,
Okay.
and that's it. But yeah, I mean, the prep time is real simple when you keep it simple.
Yeah.
Eat the kale with some balsamic vinegar, maybe throw in some tomatoes. But I mean, prep time for that is 5 minutes, right?
Right.
Your potato, 5 minutes in the microwave.
Correct.
And that's it. The best way to lose weight fast. Now I'm impatient, so that's why I fast.
Right.
So yeah, although I'm eating this now, I lost about, like after Thanksgiving, I was about 191 pounds. Before I left last night, I was 187.
Jeez.
If you stop eating for 3 days,
Yes.
you'll
that
get
will-
job. I mean, it sounds insurmountable at first, but you work toward it. So you start your timer whenever you finish dinner, right? So say you finish dinner at 8 o'clock. Try to go till noon the next day. That's 16 hours. If you can do that, try to go till 1 p.m. the next day. And gradually just practice pushing your first meal until you're eating dinner again. So you've gone from 8 to 7, or even 8 to 8, 24 hours. For me, that the first 24-hour achievement, shows me that I can do it. I can also do a workout and not pass out like everyone tells you you're going to if you don't eat right before you work out. So yeah, it's real simple. Just all these detox diets and all that shit. Yeah. The best detox is just don't put anything in your body.
That's true.
It's not I'll put some cayenne pepper and lemon and honey in tea and some. What the hell is that shit?
Well, it's supposed to like cleanse, like clear out your system.
Your body cleanses itself on its own when you don't inundate it with.
I'm saying it's the propaganda to get you to buy them.
Yeah, it's always about buying. You can't sell don't eat.
Yeah.
There's no money in don't eat. Okay, well now that Chris is here and he's sampled the Knafeh a little bit, we've changed his world.
Yes.
He will never not know what it's like to not have a Knafeh in his face. We're gonna head out to Brooklyn to Junior's to have arguably one of the best Reuben sandwiches in the world. It's gonna take us, what, an hour to get there maybe?
Yeah, I'm looking at the directions in there.
Maybe we should just walk there to burn all this off. Can we just walk to Brooklyn? How long? Put in the little walking man thing in the directions and see how long that'll take.
Well, 2 hours and 34 minutes.
That's not bad. 2.5 hour walk.
Yeah.
Maybe walk half of it.
But, if you look at the map, it's not that far. So it's like what I'm saying, how slow trains are. New York is only 8 miles long. So it's taking
It's just all the people that get in the way.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I got to call it. I'm done with sweets for at least the next 2 hours. Yeah, 2 minutes. Yeah. If there was more here, I might. But I'm sad when I'm full. Have you heard about the vomitoriums?
I don't know.
Yeah, they would all gorge themselves. This is a story I heard from somewhere. I don't know. It's probably not true. But it might be. They would gorge themselves on this big feast, and then they, tickle themselves. We're gonna puke in this vomitorium, and they go eat all over again.
Really?
It was. I don't know. It sounds like a good idea,
I can't
though.
imagine that room. It looked like you'd go to a room and then the people have to clean it up. That's the worst part.
Well, they're creating jobs, aren't they?
Okay, we're done with Al Sham for now and hunting meat, heading to Brooklyn. Throughout the years, Chris is constantly pitching me on show ideas. He always has a billion show ideas he'd like to talk about.
I have a billion show ideas I'd like to talk about.
For those of you who don't know, who don't recognize who I'm with right now, this is Chris Clay.
Hello.
Some of you may recognize him from his starring role 18 years ago in Juggling Kung Fu Master. He played the racquetball court Bushman. And
Is that what it sounded like?
I don't know if you actually had any lines. Yeah, there was background sounds. I think we did dub something, yes. Over the past 10 years, we've been toying with the idea of shooting an epilogue to the Bushman character, who then becomes a little more civilized, gets a job at an office, and then runs into me on the street, wearing a suit and everything, but then sees me and totally loses his shit, strips all his clothes off, and then he's got the same thing that he was wearing. Boy, real easy to kill yourself here. Look at that, you could just, right here. It's almost like they're encouraging it. You were in 42nd Street.
42nd Street on Broadway. I played a lead role named Andy Lee. I was on the Tonys. I am on the Tonys. I did Spam-A-Lot for a little bit. Then I toured 42nd Street for a while. And then I became a DJ. I started drinking too much drugs. Fell off the wagon, so I had to get a 9-to-5 job. And now I became a social media and digital marketing strategist.
Fucking cold.
Do you want to put Michael Jacqueline for a while?
No.
You'll feel something.
Nothing burns fat faster than freezing.
You sure you don't want to try it? Feel better?
No, I'll be fine. I wouldn't do that to you.
No, I'm fine.
I wouldn't do that to me. I don't want your scent on me. I don't know who will chase me down.
That's not a good sign when your tour guide is looking at a map.
We are here.
Yes, we're here.
And this is Manhattan. We're in Manhattan?
Yes, I work here actually. This is where.
But we're going to Brooklyn.
Right, but this queue is going to go all the way to.
But we're already in Manhattan. There's stuff in Manhattan I wanted to do.
Well, there's a fucking.
No, I don't want to go to that Junior's. I don't trust
there's
it.
A Junior's here.
That's a tourist Junior's. That's not the same as the Brooklyn
one.
No, there's going to be a difference in the meat.
There's no difference.
It's not the same meat. They're not bringing it in from Brooklyn. I don't know if they got the same smoker cooker or whatever they do with it.
They got the same kitchen. It's the same thing, just like McDonald's, just a different entrance.
It's not at all like McDonald's. How close are we? Where? We're here? So wait, where's Times Square?
Right here.
So we're like pretty close to that.
Yes.
Maybe we should try that one.
Yes, let's do the Juniors here, because I can show you where I work.
It's a gamble.
That's a yes? Sweet.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. All right.
Sure, I can blame the sleep deprivation. I really can. And taking public transportation was only making me more sleepy. I don't advise a food tour after 24 hours without sleep. This is why you never saw Jack Bauer eat anything. So we headed to Chris's place of employment for a quick break from the cold, but first we had to brave the cold New York November weather. Weather so cold, dogs refuse to walk.
At least it wasn't a horse. That'd be like see a police officer carrying his horse home. You want to stop in at the gym?
The gym?
You want to do some bench presses, some squats?
No.
Maybe that's the problem. Do you exercise at all?
Oh yeah. I gotta look at that.
I'm guessing the answer is no.
Nice. I like the catch at the end. That's my favorite part.
No, the best is if you can
Just throw it into
like
a...
an idiot, like
Jesus.
it should be like this.
Yeah, of course.
After playing with drones, we went up to the roof to get the much-needed B-roll of buildings and Columbus Circle, and then we climbed back down to hit the streets and gradually made our way toward Times Square and one of the two ill-advised Juniors locations. I mean, I'm not even going to pretend like it might be good. It's definitely going to be bad, and that is why you're going to keep watching.
Now I want to show you something funny. They have these two statues here, and you can see the penis of this one is polished. Because so many people want to touch it.
Is that because people touch it so much? I guess that's an experiment in human nature.
Now here's the female one, and I don't think
Anything
hers
polished
is-
on her?
Yeah, she's not really polished as much. I was born in Freehold, New Jersey. Same as Bruce Springsteen. Yeah, Bruce Springsteen, who has a show on Broadway right now. It's his own show.
King of the non sequiturs.
only him. And then my parents moved to Seattle when I was 10.
Hey, that's when I moved to Seattle.
Oh, really?
We moved to Seattle the
Weird,
same year as well,
yeah, there's some
1985.
Strange coincidence.
And then you were in Seattle
So I
for...
was in Seattle, going to flight school, working at Nintendo and Microsoft.
That's right.
Was designing and testing games, which was actually a very good job at the time. And
Yeah,
on a whim-
why would anyone give that up?
Well, on a whim, I was doing theater as well. I had a friend call me and said, "Hey, Lion King is looking for people. You should come to Broadway and audition." By the way, I just want to show you. See the soup right there?
Soup?
Yeah,
Oh, soup.
That's no more soup for you.
We should try
You
soup.
can see his face, but you get closer, it's like, no more soup for you. I went to the audition. They said, "Sorry, we're full." I was like, "What do you mean you're full?" I was like, "We don't need any more people." Across the way was another show auditioning called 42nd Street, and they said, "Looking for tappers." I went to that audition, did pretty well. I was like, "Oh, well, at least I auditioned for a show." 2 weeks later, I got a call like, "Hey, we'd like to call you back for the show 42nd Street." Like, what? So, flew to New York, did the audition. 2 weeks later, got a call. Because you third call back from 42nd Street, like a third call back. That was like, now I'm starting to trip out now. Like, why? There's so many talented people. I don't know why they're calling me. Anyways, third call back, I go do the audition. Mark Bramble, the director, says, "We want you for our show." So I had a kick-ass job at Microsoft at the time. Had my own office, and everyone at Microsoft, when you start there, at the end of your career there, you're either driving a Porsche, you got a house, you have stock options, it's a solid life.
Yeah.
Broadway is not.
How long was that run?
4 years.
4 years?
Yeah, right for 4 years.
And then did you ever think of going back to Microsoft after that?
Well, no, because I kept doing work, kept getting work, other shows.
Oh, okay.
And I ended up touring 42nd Street in China.
All I know is like the weirdo that you're disappointed.
Is there someone to talk to in there?
It's like an emergency thing, like if you need help.
We have to make
a 311
We have to
thing.
make a left.
Let's cross.
What was that, a Wi-Fi emergency?
Well, you can plug your phone in there. It's such a bad idea because all there are around there are bums with their phones charging. After that, I decided to become a DJ because I love music.
Neil DJs, Collin's DJing.
I know. Yeah,
You're
Collin's a
DJing
DJ.
now. Is that where you guys all end up?
So listen.
Okay.
I know
we're not at the end of the story. I'm
Yes,
trying to
I
get
know.
there.
So I started DJing and I did well. I actually did very well in the city. I was working 3 or 4 times a night. I was working major clubs. I was making money DJing. I was doing a good job. But I started becoming the typical DJ where people were throwing you shots. I was drinking too much. I was drinking way too much. I was getting drunk and smashed every night. People giving me pills, try this, taking pills. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I was like, I was going way overboard. So I come to the conclusion that I'm 40 years old. So what am I doing? So I decided to start a stable life to kind of make that decision. And that's when I got into social media and digital marketing.
That is juniors.
Yeah, but wait, did they move? That's not where they were before.
They wrap around the corner, I
They
think.
moved. They were...
That does look like they moved.
Okay, that's strange. Unless there's 2 juniors.
There might be. I saw there might. I saw 2 addresses when I checked it on my phone.
Oh, should we check the first one first?
Do you think one's going to be better than the other one?
Well, you said that.
I think the one in Brooklyn is. There's a good chance it's better than either of these 2. Is the pastrami here identical to the location in Brooklyn? Is it the exact same thing?
That's it.
All right. Cheers.
Jason being in New York, having more similarities than I thought, and the show.
Tastes like cleaning product.
How are they homemade chicken tenders? That doesn't make any sense.
You wouldn't want anything homemade at a restaurant, right? You don't want people bringing stuff from home and then serving it at the restaurant.
Homemade chicken tenders? That doesn't make sense.
Who made it? I'm gonna get the pastrami ribbon and a cup of matzo ball soup. We took a break long enough to get hungry again, so
Yeah.
I could actually eat dessert.
I still have dessert for tonight. Oh my god. That was so good. Well, I talk about what I was telling you before about an idea of you secretly reporting people at the gym doing an exercise or using a machine completely wrong, and then you interrupting their routine and showing them how to do it correctly, breaking it down. So the idea would be, and it's good. At first you're laughing at them because you're like, oh my god, look at how she. Like you've seen people do this. Where they're like lifting, like not controlled lift, but using their back to lift. I've seen so many people do it wrong, and they don't. The reason why they do it this way because they don't have the knowledge. There's not enough. Really, I bet if you search on YouTube, you could probably find a lot of things.
What you're suggesting sounds kind of like rogue trainer. Like you didn't pay
the name, rogue trainer.
You didn't pay for his help,
right?
But he's gonna criticize you, almost like kitchen nightmares of the gym.
Right.
But most people don't want help. Most people think they're doing it right.
I don't agree with that. I think most people would like the help.
Not from a guy that's laughing at them. Your initial pitch was that I laugh at them.
Well, no,
I criticize
the audience you're laughing at.
Well, I'm gonna be an asshole. No one's gonna want to watch me help anybody if I'm laughing at them.
At first you're like, oh.
I like fixing people and helping them with exercise. I'm just wondering how.
Maybe you could show first the correct way of doing bicep curls. Then you go to the gym and you see the guys doing something completely wrong. And you're like, look at that.
But how many episodes before that gets kind of old? That sounds like a one-off YouTube
video. The whole thing about the
video.
episode is training, teaching people how to exercise correctly. And they learn something from the whole experience.
What else you got?
What I'm saying. So this leads into what?
You tell me. Oh, what does this lead into?
Top Diesel. Okay, Top Diesel is the reverse of The Biggest Loser. You take wimps, put them in the gym, and it's whoever gains the most muscle and the most physique wins. But
you know, people don't get too emotional about that. Losing weight, losing fat, and making people diet, that's hard for them. But bodybuilding, that's just work out hard and eat right. There's no suffering. There's just working hard.
That's the part of the suffering is working out and dieting. Changing a diet is hard. Working out is actually hard. There's a lot of people that don't. Most people don't work out or diet well. They're not conscious in their diet plans.
You have to find people that don't like doing it, right? So it's going to be hard for them.
Yes, I guess.
And if they gain any fat, or if they gain too much fat, that's a penalty of some kind.
Well,
because most people will just bulk and they'll put on as much weight as they can. Because what do I care? As long as I'm putting on muscle, who cares if I get a little fat?
This show would be dedicated to those people that want to start working out and really don't know how, and that's millions of people.
All right, I'm in.
Okay, good. Alright, let's touch this one.
What else you got?
The Wheel of Death. Imagine a huge stage.
I've actually seen a huge stage before.
The stage rotates.
Oh.
It's cut into 3 pieces. So there's 3 sections. Each section is a performance stage. It turns. And you see the stage there in front of everyone. There's people in the audience and people at home that can vote with the app. There'll be an app. As they perform, if the audience likes it, they can start voting. As they're voting, the lights get brighter on the stage. And if they make it at the end of the routine, they move on to the next level. If they don't like it, people at home or in the audience, you can vote down. And as you're performing, oh, food has arrived.
And there it is, folks. The Times Square Juniors version of a Reuben. The first thing we noticed was a discrepancy in the size.
That doesn't look as it's pretty small. Grand as it's supposed to be. The picture, we're witnessing propaganda 101.
I told you there's a difference between Brooklyn and Times Square.
We have to ask.
But it doesn't, as long as the meat is the same.
First of all, a real sandwich, even when cut into thirds for whatever reason, should never be smaller than your hand unless it's a finger food.
What is that?
Puke. Cat puke.
BLT. Pretty good.
That's a lot of bacon.
That's a lot of bacon. That's a lot of heart attacks.
I think this is Russian dressing.
This white gloppy substance was mystifying. I mean, it didn't really have a color. It didn't have a flavor.
What the fuck this is? What the fuck is
it? Thousand Island?
No, what the fuck is this?
Let me shut up. Come on, let me try it.
At best, you could describe it as a somewhat thick, chunky texture.
I think it is cat puke. What the fuck is this?
It became a topic of consternation and confusion. I have had many Reubens in my life.
It's like Thousand Island.
Many Thousand Island dressings.
Well, it's like that. I know Thousand Island.
I know Thousand Island got you.
I could not identify what this substance was even trying to imitate.
No!
Go with it?
This is wrong.
Question.
What is this?
It's like a relish sauce, relish pickle sauce. Pretty good though.
Is there like, doesn't this come with Thousand Island or Russian dressing?
That's right there.
It tastes a little off. Like I've had this before, yeah. This is really weird.
Okay, would you like another sauce then?
Prepare to see me at a loss for words. When you want Thousand Island dressing and they tell you that their white, weird, tasteless glop is Thousand Island dressing, and they ask you if you want another sauce, this is the best I could come up with in trying to get better Thousand Island sauce that I knew didn't exist.
Well, like, I don't know if you make, is that like, did that come out of a big vat of Thousand Island sauce, or?
Now, if someone does this with their head when you're trying to explain something, you are not doing a good job.
It just tastes a lot different from the last time I was, it wasn't this location, but
Was the Brooklyn location?
yeah.
Yeah, their sauce is a little different, but I can get you.
Oh, it is different then. See, I was telling you it was the same.
No, their food is totally different from our food.
But you said the meat was exactly the same.
The meat, like the charming meat is charming meat, so it's the same. But
Maybe just get, I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. I guess just leave it. No, I don't want it.
Okay.
Do you have any other sauces? Do you have like just Thousand Island? That's not that?
I'll check and see downstairs.
Like for salad, Thousand Island or something.
We both made the decision to come to Times Square.
And this is a little tougher. I was being nice.
And didn't the first guy say it was exactly the same?
Is the pastrami here identical to the location in Brooklyn? Is it the exact same thing?
That's it.
So this is the only Thousand Island that we do have. We got people on the side.
It's not bad.
So even for salads, that's
Keep it.
Leave it. Yeah. Okay. I mean,
That does look unappealing.
it does not. Yeah, it looks like cat puke, and
Let's try a fried dip.
it takes you like 5 minutes to even determine what kind of flavor is going on in there. Maybe it's better with fries.
No, not really.
It's not.
I'll try it. No.
Oh, damn it! I guess we're gonna have to wait until March.
So yeah, I ate it anyway because I wasn't going to go to Brooklyn at this point. The meat was tough. You know, you needed teeth to eat it. The dressing literally looked like cat puke and tasted like unflavored mayonnaise and had a mouthfeel of cat puke. The matzo ball soup was good, but it takes a very talented individual to screw up a matzo ball. Anyway, let's hear more about the Wheel of Death.
As the performance goes, people vote. If they like it, yes, they keep going. If they finish the performance, they go to the next level. But if people don't like it, their lights start to dim, and then when it goes completely black, it turns to the next performer. You gonna try it? Oh, well, that might be better with that.
Look at all that mayonnaise. Yeah, this, if anything, this is my best chance for flavoring my sandwich a little bit. They don't like you, lights go out, they go to the next performer.
Right.
And I'm the host of this show.
No, I would probably be the host of this show, but you could as well.
So I'm maybe just a performer. I'm trying to win.
Well, actually, you could be a performer.
Coleslaw does help a little bit.
So better to think of this as a coleslaw sandwich with some pastrami jerky.
Tell me a joke.
I'm half black and half white, which means I have a big penis and good credit.
It always helps to have something to eat when listening to a pitch because, well, at least you have something to eat. And after you get over the disappointment of a bad Reuben and an even worse attempt at Thousand Island dressing, the matzo ball soup should be not as disappointing. But we have one final pitch to listen to before calling it a night.
The main idea I'm working on now, as you're working on you, is called Producing Your Life from Rock Bottom.
Right.
Now, the reason why I'm working on this is because I literally have no friends in the city. I have no one to hold me accountable. And so I've been kind of going a little crazy. Quintessential midlife crisis.
How do you know you're having a midlife crisis? What did you do that made you think, I'm having a midlife crisis?
When you have no savings, you're living paycheck to paycheck, you don't have a wife or kids, and you're living by yourself, and you're drinking every day.
You can have a wife and kids and still have a midlife crisis.
I know that.
They could be the cause of it.
Midlife crisis means when you're at midlife and you're like, oh, I've lived half my life. Am I prepared for the second half of my life? No, I am not at all. What am I gonna do? I don't know. I've done a lot. I've done a massive amount of things. I've had a huge variety.
Is that bigger than mine?
It looks a little bit bigger than yours.
Ask him what that was.
There are few things that should interrupt someone when talking about their midlife crisis. Another customer receiving a larger crappy Reuben sandwich than you got is one of them.
Now I'm in a stew quagmire of depression and anxiety. And that has to change. That's what I think happens with the midlife crisis. People get in this kind of thing where you're worrying and you're eating crap food because you want to feel better somehow, and the only thing that makes you feel better is a hamburger and fries and Coke because it's good food. You start just leading in these lives that you start getting overweight, and then you start getting depressed, and then you're just like, oh, where am I? Like, what have I been doing? I've been wasting my life. So I want to change that. Since I've started this path, things are improving. Part of that is finding a new life direction. Either doing stand-up comedy, or maybe going back to Microsoft.
Yeah, that sounds like the best job.
Yes, I feel like I'd be on. I loved Microsoft when I was there, so.
Whatever you decide, you can always change your mind. As long as you're alive, and if you feel like you wasted the past 10 years, the worst thing you can do is not make a decision, because then it's going to be 11 years, then it's going to be 12 years. So do something, even if you made a mistake and went the wrong way. You did something different for 2 years, and you have something to show for it.
Right.
Whatever you do, make sure you have something to show for it for the time that you spent doing it.
Which I do.
Instead of just working at Target for 2 years.
Right.
And say, well, look at how many employees a month I got. I don't mean that.
Right.
I mean, create something, produce something, do something. You could argue I've wasted a lot of time, but I have something to show for it. And when I show people that, they're entertained by it.
No,
it makes no money.
You're not wasting. What are you talking about? You out of all my friends, you've done the most and created the biggest empire I think I've ever seen.
I have done the most that anyone in the world has ever done that has produced no financial return. It doesn't now, yeah, who knows? Like that's where I'm at. Do I keep on going with it? Because I can't do much better. Like the promo video I have for the Moxie games, I can't do much better than that. That was all the money I had to make that look the way it did. The best I could do is a new version of the same thing, which would look the same.
But I don't know, I feel like it's such a good idea. I love that style of entertainment, or competition, you know?
Sorry about the sauce, man.
It's not true. You didn't make any of this. You didn't cook the meat. You didn't vomit into this cup here.
I told him, like, no, all the juniors are the same.
No. Everybody prefer the one. Everybody prefer the one. Everybody prefer the one. Original.
So he's gonna kick my ass later.
Cornbread and all that. Yeah.
They should call it something else then. And what about the other one down the block?
That's even better. This is the new one. This is the one that's still kind of giving birth.
I know, but when you use the same ingredients, that's what I thought. It was.
They should just ship the meat. Have some guy drive the food over here from Brooklyn.
Because of Brooklyn Bridge, right?
Yeah.
It's just the same concept, but the one in Brooklyn is where everybody goes.
So of all 3 juniors locations, we chose the worst one. Brooklyn is the best, the other one just a block away is second best, and there's only 3. If they don't even know how to make Thousand Island dressing, that's probably a big-ass red flag. Maybe the dressing was homemade. You know, by someone's kid.
I usually don't show footage of me not liking food, because who wants to watch a show about a guy who starved himself for 32 hours, flew to New York, and got a sandwich that he didn't like, and finished it anyway?
Well, I'm assuming the cheesecake would be the same.
No.
Alright.
Don't you think all airports should draw a line around the baggage carousel about 6 feet away from it that people have to wait at until they see their bags? Then they can go in and get their bags. If you're crowding up the front and my bag is coming here, I can't get it till I walk over here.
Like run around or say, excuse me.
Shouldn't you only go forward like that?
So it was an anticlimactic ending to a day I waited 6 months for. Sham did not disappoint and was the perfect start. The weather in November is bloody cold and I was not prepared. Sleep deprivation, hypothermia, midlife crisis therapy, and a subpar Reuben sandwich. After leaving the proxy version of Juniors, I stopped by a Dunkin' Donuts and got an amazing cruller, and then a slice of pizza that was incredible, better than anything I had for dinner. But I was too pissed off to take out my camera, so you'll just have to take my word for it and watch Chris Clay reenact those experiences. Fasting and fooding is not without risks, and the stakes are high when you put that much pressure on a meal. When it works, it's magical. When food fails you, send it back and move on, and do not pay for it. That's my plan moving forward. Hopefully Chris Clay is still alive and chosen a new career path that makes him happy, but either way it's time to get ready for SkillCon and a lot more fasting and food. Oh, and this location of Naked City Brewery closed since the recording of this video. That's how long it took me to get around to editing this episode. But they still have a location on Camino Island. If you don't know where that is, probably won't affect you.